Bottle Rocket inspired something about Mary in a huge way, and this is how. There's something about Mary was Decter and Strauss, Ed Decter, John Strauss. They'd written this script. It was 10 years old, and it was a great idea.
It'd been around forever. I'd heard that.
Yeah, it had been around, but it was a great concept, and it had gone into development hell. My brother and I read it. We said, let's do this next. So we started rewriting it, and we were on page 45 or 50, and all of a sudden we hit a wall because we realized it's so obvious that Mary's going to end up with Ted. You know what's going to happen. We have an hour to go. This is horrible.
Conflict, quick.
It was like completely disturbing that we're on page 45 and you know what's going to happen. And I couldn't get around it for about 2 weeks. We were just sat there looking at each other like, what the hell are we going to do? And then I watched Bottle Rocket. That's a little masterpiece, Bottle Rocket.
Yeah.
And it starts out, these guys are, they break Owen out of this, so-so nut house, but he didn't have to be broken out. He could have just walked out.
Right.
Owen's got a 5-year plan on paper. He says, what we're going to do. The first year, we're going to rob mom and pops. The second year, we're going to go to this. We're going to do 5 years, we're going to make all our money. Then we're going to start a business, something. He has some cockamamie plan. They head out on the road. They go to a motel the first night, and Luke Wilson falls in love with the maid at the motel, and they don't leave. They just stick there. And I was watching, I was thinking, this isn't what they were planning when they were writing this movie. They didn't have that mapped out. What they did was, when they got there at that motel and saw something happening here, they let the movie go where it wanted to go. They let it go in the direction it went. They didn't continue to do the 5-year plan thing. It didn't matter. They let the flow of the story go where it wanted to go. And I called my brother and said, you got to watch this movie. This is fucking awesome. We're doing it all wrong. We're doing it all wrong. She doesn't have to end up with him. She does not have to end up with him. Mary does not have to end up with Ted. She could end up with any of the guys. Why are we running it that Ted has to do it? Just because that's how it's been for 100 years?
Right.
That the lead guy? No. Let it go where it wants to go. And from that point forward, we wrote the movie. We were fair to all the characters, to Chris Elliott and to Matt Dillon and to the other guy and to everybody, like Brett Favre. We didn't know who was going to end up with Mary as we're writing.
Right.
And we got 5 pages from the end, and we looked at each other and we were like, they actually think now that she's going to end up with Brett Favre. Let's give her to Ted. And that's what we did.
Right.
And I called those guys. We met with them, and with Wes Anderson and Owen, and just said, you guys are like unbelievably talented, and I have to thank you for what you brought to you're so smart. It helped us write the script, and we became friends.